All right, in this video, I'm going to do something a little unusual. I'm going to attempt to invite in insecurity, which is a concept we're all familiar with, I'm sure, some of us more than others. Uh, I'm going to attempt to invite it in. By invite it in, I mean I'm going to conjure the energy of insecurity or invite whatever, like the spirit is behind insecurity, and I'm going to invite it into my body, and I'm going to welcome it as a friend instead of pushing it away as an energy. And I'm just going to see if I feel more empowered with insecurity on my side than I do with it as sort of this scary thing that often gets pushed away. All right, so let's tune in. Well, that was rather uneventful, but strangely enough, I feel less insecure. I feel, I feel ready to just be myself. Like, hey, it's just a video. We're just friends talking. There is no mandate for what this has to be. There are no critics for me to appease. This is just a moment in time that we are potentially sharing. And if you're drawn to this, you're drawn to this. And if you're not, hey, no big deal, because, I'm just shooting a video. I'm stepping a little outside of my comfort zone, and I'm discovering that maybe it's not so bad to be out here. Maybe good things will be discovered. Maybe I won't create some next great video on this first take, but maybe the act of being willing to step out here and just share and just be myself and just connect on a level that you can feel that goes beyond text, maybe doing that will lead me down the road to have more connections like this, or to feel more free to express myself like this, and that could in turn lead to countless possibilities. So I think what I'm learning from this is that the reason that insecurity can have such a stranglehold on keeping you back is because you think that in order to overcome that insecurity, you need to be good enough. You need to put out. It's not enough to just struggle with your insecurity. In your attempt to overcome it, you have to be able to knock it out of the park. And if you can't knock it out of the park, then you just don't even start that fight. Which makes sense. If I wouldn't start a physical fight with some dude who's just going to kick my ass if I did. But maybe in putting up that initial fight, you strengthen yourself, or you let whatever's holding you back, or whatever insecurity is in front of you, you let it know that you're not just going to stand idly by and let it ruin your life. And then all of a sudden it looks at you a little differently. You still might be this scrawny kid compared to this big, strong bully, but it'll look at you differently. And you'll look at yourself differently. And you'll find that the bruises and the bumps and the scrapes, they don't really matter. They don't really matter when compared to your mettle, to your ability to say, I'm standing up for this. I want something better than what insecurity has been holding me back from. And in just being willing to make that tiny little change, the tiny little change from a victim of insecurity to a challenger to insecurity, that creates a mindset where all of a sudden maybe just maybe you could overcome this thing. You could be the David who slays Goliath. And, probably not on your first sling of the arrow, or sling of the rock, or whatever the hell he uses. It's a rock with a sling. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get your analogies right on your first try or not, because the greater intention of what you're trying to do matters more in the long run than the quality of the product you're putting out. So if I could give any advice from this enlightened state where I've invited insecurity in, and it doesn't seem like such a big bad bully anymore, it would be that that the things that appear that are scary and a threat to you are really just evidence that you're playing smaller than you're capable of playing. If you shrunk down in size, everyday things would appear gigantic. Little ants would be giant terrorists. You know, I don't know if anyone here is of age to have seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but all sorts of small things like sprinklers going off became floods. Ants became giant terrorists. And it was just this whole world of things we take for granted became huge threats because they were playing so small. And that's what insecurity does to us. It keeps us playing small so that things that pose no threat to us, when we are living at a level that is actually our size, you know, when we're seeing ourselves for who we really are, insecurity poses zero threat, zero. It's only the fact that we see ourselves for less than we really are, that we think our insecurities are something worth being afraid of, or something worth hiding from. And that's just not the case. So I hope you got something worthwhile out of this video. It's kind of experimental. It's just me getting out of my comfort zone and trying to just be in the moment and flow and get comfortable expressing myself in a way that's not as controlled as writing is, because in writing you can just edit. Obviously I could edit this video. I am not really that skilled at video editing, and it would probably take way too long, and I probably would, as I've done in the past, I'll shoot a video, I'll start editing it, and I'll be like, this is way too much work, I don't know the software well enough, blah blah blah, and then it never airs. So this is going to go out unedited, and hopefully maybe it inspires. Maybe just one person out there will be inspired to watch this, and they'll see it, and they'll be inspired to look at things differently than they did before they saw the video, and then it'll be worthwhile. And then if I looked stupid or bad, or the content was shit, it doesn't really matter, because that my metric is not how polished the product is. It is, am I doing something that's going to help me? Am I doing something that's going to help at least one other person? And I feel like I've done that, at least on the helping me department. So until next time, peace.